Hello, welcome back. I'm going to do just a really short video today on, this was by request and something I was thinking of doing anyway, is really how to get your identity back when a narcissist, particularly the worst, the ones that are doing this are the covert narcissist, has basically made you feel like it's been taken from you. I did an earlier video, which you might want to watch first, and it's basically how narcissists steal your identity. And so you might get to a point where you don't really know who you are anymore. Covert narcissists, they chip away at you little by little by little. I always think like slicing, like a potato slicer or peeler, just layer by layer. And so you don't even realize it's happening until it's too late. And they use gaslighting, they use all those covert tools, a lot of that passive aggressiveness, that way that you end up internalizing where you think you're the problem. And then what happens is leaving the narcissist, great first step, but you get to a point where you still don't feel like yourself and you're wondering, maybe, who am I? Maybe you don't remember who you were before. Maybe you weren't clear who you were before. So step one is realizing it. Step one is just realizing it and being kind to yourself and thinking, wow, this is happening. I don't really understand who I am right now. And so you just sort of make peace with that. One thing I would always recommend is that to work through this with a therapist, that not trying to do this alone. So this is just kind of a bare bones idea of tools to use, but it's always better to work with a therapist around this because there's a lot of trauma to process because you have been traumatized, you have been abused. A lot of people don't understand that covert abuse, emotional, verbal, whatever it is abuse. In some ways, it has stronger repercussions and lasts longer. You don't see the bruises. It's invisible. It's not obvious. There's so much internalization that goes on. So step one is really realizing that. Step two is being kind to yourself, allowing those emotions to come, understanding, do some reading, watch videos, read up. There's so many good books out there and articles and resources. So get some great resources around it, educate yourself, talk to people, but join a group if you need to, be validated in what you're going through. Understand that it does take time, so be patient. Your brain isn't always working at the best that it can be. It's just temporary. So, maybe don't take on any major projects if you don't have to. If you don't have to make any big decisions, it's always better to put those off till another time, to give yourself some space and time. Do lots of self-care. Try to be in the moment whether it's meditation, whether it's just finding some joy in life, even in really small ways. Sit down and enjoy a cup of tea. Take 5 minutes. Go out in nature, try to do some things where even small that feel good in the moment, where you can kind of get out of your own head. And use lots of self-compassion. Self-compassion is where you're basically saying, even it's okay to not be okay. This is what I'm going through. This is what I need to go through. And it's all right. It's going to take some time. And again, things to work through with a therapist where they'll give you some of those tools and more, and you'll need to work through that trauma as well. The other thing to do not get into any other romantic relationships. Take your time, allow yourself to be alone, get to a point where you enjoy your own company. That's really important. And, if you have any close friends, people you can lean on a little for emotional support. If you feel isolated because you were cut off from people, then that's where groups can come into play. Even online groups can really fill a gap in the meantime. Try to get out a little. Try to, as I mentioned, go for walks. Try to do some things if you can, or even have the capacity. If you don't, it's okay. That's okay. Understand it gets better. Keep your hope. It's going to get better. Time heals. Allow yourself time. If you absolutely can, no contact with that narcissist, so you're not re-traumatizing. If you have children, limited contact, gray rock, which I go over in my other videos. You want to have the less amount of contact as possible, and to keep yourself safe and not be re-traumatized, because you need the time and the space to heal. Understand your identity's not gone. It's not broken. It's just, it's a little cracked, and it will come back, and you will get stronger. You will get better. You are resilient. So that's just a little snippet of ways that you can start to get yourself back. I can do some more in-depth stuff around it, but really it is something to work through with a therapist, and I'm just giving you a few tools. The biggest thing to understand, you're not crazy. You did not imagine any of it. It was all real. You were abused. You were mistreated. It's not your fault. Nobody deserves that kind of treatment. In whatever you did was reactive. Maybe you didn't act the way you like to act. Maybe you blew up at times, or maybe you were, dysfunctional within a relationship. Remember, you were in a dysfunctional relationship. We can't be healthy in a bad relationship. So do not beat yourself up for anything that went on in the relationship. You start anew, you start fresh. This is you now, and you're going to get yourself back. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Spread the word, share if you'd like, and comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.